How we doing? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning's Silliness. Today I'm going to be doing my GAC live stream. Join me for some Saturday. I got to capitalize Saturday morning. As I talk Star Wars nerd tangents. Today we're going to be looking at a number of different things. As you can see, I am still on my what do we call this thing? That thing. And then I'm going to be coming over here doing some playing. We're doing some pre-filling. I actually want to try out, I want to make sure that I don't like get, I probably can't. John Williams! Ooh, I hope your tooth fell out well. I don't want to get any rewards here. This is the problem. But anyways, guys, we're just kicking it, having a grand old time, doing my GAC. Let's jump over here. I gotta do my pre-fills real quick, but then we're gonna jump into the GAC. Yanked good meds. I'm telling you, dude, those meds rock. Whenever I go in and get like a filling or whatever, I tell it, I'm like, look, put me on the nitrous. And I know it's a small thing, but dude, it is, man, it's pleasant. It is pleasant. I am a big fan is the short answer. Cause yeah. Also, cause like then when you're done, you just get off and you're like, oh, I'm back to normal, especially with like the nitrous. But yeah, like I'm super excited to talk about some of the stuff that's gone on. What am I doing here? All right, let's do Kenobi. My goal here is just to kind of throw some points up on the board. I'm not looking to kill it. But if I win, I win. Great. How are you, John? Welcome though. Welcome. I am very excited for a lot of the stuff that's been going on. It's been kind of an interesting week in Star Wars. I want to bring over, I haven't checked, what do you call the forums in the stuff that's going on that I need to read up on and learn about. So learn about them with me. February calendar. Let's see what this is how long. I don't even go to the calendars anymore. No, I don't want to do that. The STAP. How many of you guys unlocked the STAP? I haven't had a chance to play with it yet because, I mean, I've unlocked it, but that's the extent of it. Let me bring up my Discord real quick. That's where all of my stuff is. Let me know if there's ever a problem. But I want to jump over to the SWGOH events stuff. I saw a video from Arnold the other day, and he was talking about how he thinks that they're finally going into what do you call it? They're finally getting into vehicles, and the STAP is just going to be the first one. And I'm really curious to know what you guys think, if that's actually going to be the first one. Holy crap, a Supreme lightsaber bundle. Oh no, that's the Supreme Leader lightsaber bundle that's coming out. So if you're looking to buy then that's an option. January calendar. Man, I'm ways down here. Blueprints, Darth Bane preview, login. What do you think the droid is? Why are we getting B1 battle droid for the January login? Oh, look at my head. It's just like my head. This is how bald I am. Like, look at that. I think we're getting the droid because we're finally going to be able to use our spider friend, our arachnid, Admiral Trench. I think new, what do you call them? New ships are coming. New value is coming. I saw something just today that May the 4th weekend, they are going to be re-releasing the Got It to Gear 9. Holy crap. Really feel about whaling as a free to play. I would have been cleared out of my stash. I'm hoping for sniper droid. A sniper droid would be dope. We're gonna get. I think that's the thing is. I think we're gonna get a lot more of those B1 style droids. One, I mean, they've already got the like the stuff made up. You know, the materials are already in the game. A sniper droid would be dope. You know. Let's do Stormtrooper. But I just think that like Trench had so many different like B1 stuff. He didn't have like people. He didn't have legit separatists on his team. He had droids. And so it makes sense that if we're getting a team for Trench, it's going to be droids, you know, a droid team. And you know, that's going to be where they go. And so they're going to need to add to it. You know, we've got the B1, we've got a few others. Now, it's 25 years this May the 4th, since episode 1 came out. They are relaunching, or they're doing for the May 4th weekend. So check your theaters nearby. They're doing a, what do you call it? A rescreening of episode 1, and I'm super excited about it. Like, I don't know, like, so I watched episode 1, and this is gonna date me, and this, I don't know, I mean, if you've ever followed the channel, you know kind of how I became a Star Wars fan. I've been around Star Wars since I was a kid, but like I wasn't like a full-on hardcore fan till I was an adult, and that's when I let my like addictive personality just kind of like take over and, you know, run my life. But I remember opening night going to the movie theater and not knowing what I was going to see. Like, I went with a friend of mine, you know, we saw in the newspaper, that's how old I am and how old this was. We saw in the newspaper that it was like, hey, Star Wars is coming out tonight. Cool, that's awesome. Let's go see if we can get tickets. And we went to our fancy theater, right? We didn't go to Lowe's. We went to Tinseltown, right? Down in Woodlands, Texas. Anyone who's down in the Houston area. We went to Tinseltown. And my friend, you know, had a friend who worked at the theater, and we show up at like 10 o'clock and for the midnight showing. This was like one of the first times a midnight showing like was taking place. And as we line up, they're like, yeah, we're all sold out. And then he runs into a friend, and his friend's like, oh, by the way, there's a 12:15 showing that they're not telling anyone about just yet. And so we ended up going to the 12:15 showing, and we were like the first in line. It was awesome. And such a cool experience, you know, and seeing Star Wars like that in the theater is just a cool freaking experience. And, you know, if this year they're doing episode 1, next year they'll probably do episode 2, and then the following year they're going to do episode 3. Now, what's interesting about this, and I've got a bit of a theory here. Darth Maul was originally supposed to be the main bad guy for the sequel trilogy. I don't know if you guys knew that. Like George Lucas, when he did his thing, he had Darth Maul. He'd planned it out, and it was Darth Maul and Darth Talon would have been his apprentice for the sequel trilogy. Now, obviously, Darth Maul's dead, but is he? Is he? I mean, I think yes. But is he? Maybe, maybe not. Now, the reason I say maybe, maybe not is not because I actually think that he's going to live. I mean, would I like to see Darth Maul on the big screen again after we've seen everything from what he's gone through? Yeah, I would. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be a level of coolness that would be great. Would it confuse the ever-living crap out of anyone who's only seen episode 1? Yeah, yes, it would. Would it confuse people and maybe even frustrate people who've seen like Star Wars Rebels, and they're like, wait, didn't Darth Maul die at the hands of Obi-Wan, and wasn't that just an epically awesome death? Yes, it would. Do I put it past Disney to like bring him back because they don't know how to write a good story right now? No, I don't. I would absolutely think Disney would do that. It's kind of what Disney does, right? They take the easy way out, right? Now, I don't know, like that's very possible, but Darth Maul was the original like main baddie. Now, we do see Asajj Ventress coming back in the Bad Batch series, and she's dead. I mean, I hope that's not a spoiler. Like, well, I mean, let me rephrase that. That's totally a spoiler, and I apologize. Spoiler alert for anyone who's watching this after the fact. Maybe I'll go back and put like a thing up. I apologize. In the book Dark Disciple, which I have read once and listened to twice. I'm now listening to it for my third time. It's a great book. If you ever have a chance to check it out, Audible, they do a great job. The Star Wars books are always really well done on Audible. There's a lot of books that I would like totally recommend on Audible. Most Star Wars books are great. And on Audible, the production value is just phenomenal. But yeah, like it's really well done. And they actually, Disney has spent some time building the Asajj Ventress character. So I don't know if you guys know this. So you've got Dark Disciple. You've got Dooku, Jedi Lost, which deals heavily with Dooku's past, but also with Asajj Ventress, which is... It's fascinating, and that's not a book necessarily. I mean, it's in book format, but what it really is it's a audio play, an audio drama, and it's akin to some of the other audio dramas that Star Wars did in like the early 90s, and it's really well done. Like, it's voice acted, you've got different actors, it's awesome. It's a play, but that you just listen to. And unlike some of the other ones where it's like they give direction, I would say it's adapted in a way that makes it fun to listen to. Like, sometimes you're listening to an audio drama and it's like, oh, quick, what's that over to the left? And then you hear like stuff coming from the left and you're like, oh, it's different than that, right? Or maybe it's just better than that. Maybe different's the wrong word, but it's really well done. And so they've spent some time building Asajj Ventress, right? They've spent a lot of time with the Night Sisters, right? You have Jedi Survivor, you've got Jedi Fallen Order. There's a lot of stuff that is taking place with the Night Sisters. And so do I think that Asajj Ventress is going to be playing a major role? I think it's very possible. Could we see Asajj Ventress maybe taking that role of what Darth Maul was for Lucas. I mean, was because again, he was originally going to be the bad guy. Maybe Asajj is going to be the bad guy. I don't know. I really don't, and obviously I really don't, because I'm not part of Lucasfilm. I don't have an inside scoop, but it would make sense to bring a character. I mean, and we know and I'm not trying to get like political, but we know that Star Wars and Lucasfilm have a ideology that they have to follow, right? You have a strong female character lead. She's a white lady. I mean, that's just the color of her skin, but she's just super pale. I mean, like they rolled around in flour. She's just this white lady. So I mean, maybe that's not going to be, but like her character, like the Asajj Ventress character is a really great character. Now I'll say this: Dark Disciple was originally, so the book that follows her life. Hold on. Yes, love. They're on your bed. Oh no, they're upstairs. They're right here on my dresser. Top of my No, in my bedroom. Okay. Top of my dresser. I think. Love you. That was my little one. The yellow saber, right? Oh my gosh, such a powerful thing. Now, what if Asajj Ventress was the one who helped train? Not trained, but what if she connected with some of the other fallen Jedi, right? Not necessarily leading her own order or whatever, but like, what if she just like said, hey, let me help you survive. Now, Quinlan, so if you don't know, the story of Dark Disciple is the Jedi are like, hey, let's do some, Dooku's killing us. Let's kill him. Let's go and assassinate Dooku. And most of the Jedi are like, no, that's weird. But then they end up going with it. So it's Dooku is set to be assassinated by Quinlan Vos. And they're like, well, how are they going to do that? And then Kenobi's like, well, I have an idea. I may know a person. And Quinlan is like, hey, Quinlan. Oh, sorry. Kenobi's like, hey, Quinlan, on a side note, there's this lady, Asajj Ventress, and she's tried to kill Dooku unsuccessfully twice, but we think that with your help, the two of you could really, murder him. And it's a really fascinating story, right? Because Quinlan Vos he's living life on the outskirts, living on the edge. And he's doing his thing, and it's a fascinating story. It really is interesting. It takes a look at what does it mean to be not just a Jedi, but like a Force user. What does it mean to be to live in a time of war when there's, I don't know, good and bad. I mean, it's a fascinating story, and it's really well done. But what originally it was originally a Clone Wars story arc. And what they did was when Disney bought Lucasfilm, which may change in a bit, but when Disney bought Lucasfilm, what happened was they said, we have all of these other like story arcs that we haven't finished. And so some of them were turned into books. And some of them were turned into comic books and stuff, and so it's really fascinating. I think the Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, was originally set to be a story arc that just never made it to taping. I guess I don't know if like that's the word for that, but like it's a great story. Like it's a great story. And so, but this Dark Disciple was also one of those that just didn't make it. Ooh, this is rough. Well, of course I got to bring somebody in because, oh man, let's see if I can make it through this. So, but then, you know, the question is like, are they going to bring her back and make her the Darth Maul character? You know, the main baddie for this new thing that's going, and I think it's very possible. Now we'll see. I mean, with the Bad Batch bringing Asajj in, I mean, it could be any number of things. I mean, it could be that she's just a, yeah, that was still lost. It could be that it's a flashback. It could be any number of things. But I'm really curious to kind of see all of the stuff that happens. But what's interesting to me again, and kind of coming full circle with this, is the Bad Batch will end on the 21st. No, it'll end right before the week of May the 4th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have what's his face? Then you have this event, this Star Wars May the 4th weekend, where we're going to be getting the re-release of Episode 1. I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, you know? So I'm pretty stoked to see. Now, today I'm going up against Iruga. Let's take a look. I won the last one, but I'm pretty sure it's because my opponent only went up one time. I went up against Drew, the Dark Lord. And don't let his name fool you. Drew was a vicious opponent. But he only attacked once. It was a campaign of fear, for sure. My whole thought, that last hour of the battle, I was like, am I going to win? Am I going to lose? Is this guy going to, you know, all of a sudden throw everything at me? So let's look at this real quick. On the bottom, he's got Malgus, he's got Grievous, he's got Radis, Jabba, and Bosk. And then up here, looks like he's got Lord Vader, Qui-Gon, Akbar Saw, and Captain Phasma. I don't know. For whatever reason, and this is nothing against Gwendolyn Christie. I loved her in Game of Thrones. I think she was one of those many characters who was not used effectively in the sequel trilogy. And her book, the book of Phasma, was just not great. It was really frustrating, because again, just wasn't well done, in my opinion. But having said that, I always think that Phasma's from Wisconsin. I have no backing of this. I have no reason to think this, but for whatever reason, I'm like, yeah, Phasma's from Wisconsin. And mostly, it's because Gwendolyn Christie is, I guess, who she is. I mean, that sounds terrible, or that sounds weird, but like, she's Gwendolyn Christie, and of course, she's from Wisconsin. I don't know why. Like, I have no idea why, but clearly she's from Wisconsin. Let me check out. I'm going to do this. It's probably the wrong one. Yeah, I'm going to do this, but then I'm going to take him out and I'm going to put him back in. I think this will work. I mean, I'm not super worried because, like you said there, John, they don't have the, they don't have the Omicron. But, you're right. They don't have, they don't know how to write strong characters. And the thing that I love about the Phasma story arc is, it's friggin' Phasma, and she's awesome. But the second thing that I love about it is she's a strong, powerful character. Like, I have zero problems with female leads. Ahsoka is a great character. She deserves her own story. The Ahsoka book was fun. I liked it. I liked how they've adapted certain things to her story, her character. It's a really great, she's a great character. Right, she is. But I also like the what do you call it? I also like how Phasma is just freaking solid, right? There's a moment in the Dark Disciple book when Obi-Wan, I forgot his name and I'm looking at two of them right now. Obi-Wan is talking to Quinlan Vos and he's like, look, I want you to meet with Phasma, or I want you to like go team up with Phasma. She's awesome. You're gonna but just know when she's fighting, she likes to banter back and forth. And Voss is like, he's like, Obi-Wan, are you telling me that you flirted with Phasma? And Obi-Wan's like, no, that's not what I'm saying, but kind of. He's like, it's hard not to. And it's a really funny moment because, you know, that's essentially what he was doing the whole time. He was flirting with Phasma. And like, it's really well done, and it's a great character. Like, I have no problem with female characters. I love many of the female characters in Star Wars. Like, they just didn't write the sequel trilogy well, and Phasma was a great example of that. They also screwed Finn over. Finn is a great character who got hosed by bad writing. And if you want to see good writing, just look at the speech that is given by freaking A. Look at the speech that's given in Andor, you know, where you've got your good guy, the whatever, the freaking A. I'm gonna have to look up his name. Speaking of which, they did just wrap Diego Kyle Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen Rail, right? That moment where Luthen's talking with what's his face, the insider spy, and the insider's like, "What have you given up?" And he's like, "What have I given up?" That is good writing. That is amazing writing. That was, oh my gosh, like tinglies. I got the tinglies when I listened to that. That's good writing. Right? So we know that Star Wars can have good writing, right? The moment when Smeagol was like, I can't swim. Oh my gosh. Your heart broke. Your heart broke for him, right? He was a jerk the whole time. But like, man, I can't swim. Sadness. That is good writing, you know? It's tragic and beautiful, and oh my goodness, was this amazing. It was good writing. It can be done in Star Wars. Good dialogue can be done in Star Wars. Solomon Grundy. Yeah, like, I loved Andor. It was such a good show. Like, I'm going back through, and I've said this, I think I've said this before. If not, I'm saying it now. I'm going back through and I'm trying to watch / listen to, because sometimes like I'm doing some other stuff and I can't just like watch it. I gotta like, you know, listen to it. The OG series, so 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to go through and watch 1, 2, and 3. And then, yes, I am going to watch episodes 7, 8, and 9. My oldest brother and I got to talking a couple months ago, and he's like, Thaddeus, is it really that bad? And I was like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, short answer, yeah, it absolutely is that bad. And he's like, but I'm not a huge fan. I for someone who doesn't know, is it really that bad? And I'm like, well, the short answer is it's fine. Like, if you're not a Star Wars fan and you don't care about like certain little things, yeah, I can see how you'd be like, oh, this is a fun story, right? This is okay, right? But then if you are a Star Wars fan, you can't compare everything to it. Like, that's what's frustrating. That's what is so mind-numbingly like ridiculous. Because like, in all fairness, whoops, wrong button. I think the movies are kind of the weakest link. I mean, I hate to say that. And I say that not being one of the originals who was there for episode 4, 5, and 6 as a kid, right? The movies, they're fun. They're enjoyable. They are, right? They create a universe that is really well done. You know, I show how to write stories and how to create a world in my class as a video that I use for creative writing for my classes. And one of the things that it talks about is how Star Wars did such a good job at creating a universe in a small story. Like in episode 4, you have, what do you have? You have one planet and a Death Star. That's it. That's all you have. And like, as far as setting goes, that's all there is, right? As far as there's some other things that are like, okay, there's not a whole lot to it, but it creates a world that feels lived in. It creates a world. And so in and of itself, it's phenomenal. It's really well done. Is it perfect? No. Has it aged well? Well, the originals, without like the supercuts, they're pretty good. Some of the George Lucas things that he added later on, I don't know. They're fun. You know, they're fun. They added some new context, and that's always new and different. The prequels, great. In the sense that they took that world and they expanded upon it. They looked at it, but then they built it. One of the things that I saw a video just the other day, and if I can find it, I'll post it on my shorts. Not on my shorts, but like on the short feed, because that is, I'm assuming, where everybody went with that, and not where my mind went with that. But it was how George Lucas is like, if you look at 1 through 6, they are the story of Anakin. Anakin is the chosen one, right? And he absolutely is the chosen one. It's not Luke. It's not Leia. It was Anakin. It was always Anakin. And Anakin helped to create, you know, this force balance, right? But really, all of it. It was all Anakin. It was all Anakin. I'm not even going to try to like interpret his words. It was Anakin. But then 7, 8, 9 was like, well, no, it was Luke. Or, well, no, it was, you know, Leia. No. It was Anakin. It was always Anakin. Now, were there people that could have turned Vader? Well, Luke was the only one that could have turned Vader, but then they're like, well, no, there's another. And, you know, that was what they were talking about. He had 2 kids. The chosen one had children's, 2 of them. And, right? That's what they were speaking to. Not the, you know, who's the chosen one. The chosen one was always Anakin. And again, like, I love the movies, but to me, and again, this is just me talking, the movies are kind of the weakest point in the universe. The books, the comics, the video games, where you get to live these experiences, are marvelous, are so well done for the most part. And that's what I think people have fallen in love with. They enjoyed the movies. They're like, I want to experience more of this. How do I do that? And they're like, oh, there's this video game. Oh, there's this book you can. And then because in my mind, books are the thing that allow us to really deepen our connection, understanding, love of something. They're great, you know? Yeah, it's the tragedy of Anakin. That's the whole thing. Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? And I love that. I love, like, it's, and then you add the Clone Wars on top. Oh my gosh. Like, then you add the freaking Clone Wars on top of things. You're like, oh, this show's for kids. The hell it is, right? I mean, I was watching the season 3 like trailer for the Bad Batch that's just coming out, and it's the one where Omega is trying to, she reaches down to Crosshair, and she's like, we got to get out, we got to escape. And Crosshair doesn't respond immediately. And he's like, there's no escape. I've tried it before. We can't get out. And he doesn't respond. And what does he do? He's like wringing his hands. They're taking the time in an episode to show the depth of character of someone who has given up hope, not knowing what to say, not knowing how to respond. It looks amazing. And that is what I mean by the fact that it's these other things. The movies are fun. The movies are great, right? They create this world that the rest of us can then go and live in. And it is beautiful. And that's what I love. That's what I absolutely love about all of this. And it's frustrating when all of the sudden they're like, let's change some pretty key elements, right? Some pretty key moments. And I'm like, let's not do that. Because again, if you do it on the big screen, all of a sudden it has to trickle down to everything else that we love, right? And that's what bugs me. That's where I get so frustrated, because again, it's these other elements that add the depth, that add the value to the story. And so I don't know, I will be going back and watching 7, 8, and 9. And I remember liking 7. It's been years. Like it's been 5 years, I think, since I've seen 7, if not longer. And then 8, I've seen 8 like 2 or 3 times, and then I even read the book. And I'll tell you this, like the novelization of the book for 8 actually made me like 8 more. As like before, I was like, this is the dumbest. I hate this. I didn't like it at all. But the novelization of the book, I think the author put some different twists, gave some insight to what was going on. And so like I'm like, all right, I like 8 now. I don't like certain characters still, but I'm fine with 8. But man, 9, it's just not redeemable in my mind. And it's hard because it should be, you know, it should be redeemable. All right, let's give this a shot. I don't know if this is going to work because I already used R2 and I used him wrong. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. Non-rebel. Max health. Attack out of turn. Turn meter bonus. Inflict burning. Burning. No, who's what am I doing? What am I doing? Hold on, let me back out real quick. But yeah, I am super excited for the Bad Batch season 4. I think, I don't know, Paul's been doing all right. Paul and I don't talk as much as we used to. He's going through some stuff. I think he's health-wise, I think he's been able to overcome his cancer, which I think is huge. Let's do bounty hunters. Let's do this. Finnick. I put some stuff on him. But I haven't talked to him much. Paul was I do know that he was the one that told me that Grief Karga had passed. So I think he's doing okay. Not that is why he's doing okay. I think Paul was just as sad about Grief Karga's loss, about Carl Weathers' loss as anyone else. But oh. Well, he's got to die. That's at least one. But yeah, I know that he's going through some other stuff, and I haven't talked to him about it. I'm curious about it. I just haven't had a chance to discuss it with him. But oh, well, I got one down. That's not terrible. We'll see how this goes. I will say that Nev and I have been talking a little bit, and I think we're going to have to talk about this whole Gina Carano thing. All of this is going on. I am super happy about it. I'll be honest. I don't know if you guys have been following this. It's huge. Like, this is... It's huge news, and I am very excited. Now, what's interesting, though, is I think there's a lot more to what's going on that we've seen actually reported. I was watching, our future ruler of Earth, Doomcock, Victor, I don't know if it's Victor or Dictor Van Doomcock. So, they said in the, what do you call it? They said in, I think it was December, that there were some, he called them the 4 horsemen of the Disney apocalypse or something like that. And essentially the concept was that there were some people who had kicked Kathleen Kennedy out of the office. And what they did was they kicked her out of the office, and they said, hey, you can't come in. But I mean, she's been back. I mean, she's still head person over there at Lucasfilm. But then you have someone like Dave Filoni, who's taking over like more control in certain areas, right? And so people do need to pay more attention in history class. So what happens is, like, if all of this was going down with Gina Carano a while ago, that means that the lawsuit was probably filed a while ago, and they were given access to what was happening at Disney, right? At Lucasfilm. And so those people who came in and were like, oh, well, you know, we need to look at your computers. They weren't lawyers from Disney, or maybe they were lawyers from Disney, but they had to figure out what was going on, right? They had to figure out like, hey, what's happening here? And are we in trouble? Is there a way that we can settle this? Right? Because what Gina Carano and all, so I was listening to her. She did an interview with Glenn Beck. She did an interview with like a bunch of other people. And she was talking about how a lot of this stuff was going down months ago. Right. And it's only now that we, the public, are able to know about it. Right. Which is important. Right. Because if it was happening months ago, then a lot of those rumors that Doomcock is like, hey, take it with a grain of salt. What if Doomcock was Elon Musk? Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that just be absolutely amazing? Like, I would love that. I need to put a conspiracy theory thing together. What if we've never seen them together in the same room, right? Ever. And people are saying that you know, Doomcock, or that Elon Musk is, you know, evil. What if Doomcock is his persona? Right? I think that is a very astute observation. I'm very curious to see how this goes. And that's the thing. There's a lot of hypocrisy, and she has a very legitimate claim, I think. Now, here's what's interesting. Okay, here's my thought. What if so whether or not Elon can buy Disney, right? He has the potential to be able to, right? Now, I'm not saying that he will. I'm not saying that that's a thing, but he does have money, right? And oh my gosh, Rachel Zegler. And people are like, people said the same thing about it when he went to buy Twitter. He won't buy Twitter. There's no way. I mean, and he did. Now, the thing about it, if Elon Musk went and made an offer to the board, right? The board of Disney, they would have to, if it was like a legitimate offer, they would have to look at it, right? Like financially speaking, it would have to be something that they would need to consider, right? It's not that they need to accept it, but they would need to look at the offer if it was a legitimate offer. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be doing their kind of fiduciary responsibility for their shareholders, right? And so if he makes an offer that's like a legitimate offer, they have to look at it. Now, they don't have to say yes, you know, they can say no. But what if Disney offers to buy Lucasfilm, right? Now, if Elon Musk offers to buy Lucasfilm and not just Disney, then what he could do is he could potentially make a deal where, because they've already got like Star Wars land, they've already got all of this merchandising. They're not going to take away one of the biggest brands from Disney and just be like, hey, you know, but what if they buy this company? We know that Disney has been looking to sell off parts of their brand, right? We know that. Because with this whole Comcast deal, they have to make so much money to like buy the other part of Hulu, and like it's a thing, you know, like it's a legit thing. So what if Elon buys Disney or buys Lucas, right? Smaller profit, gives it back to George Lucas, or gives, right? And with part of that, he gets a seat on the board. If he gets a seat on the board, Nelson Peltz, who's been trying to get multiple seats and take over Disney anyways, all of the sudden gets more sway. He gets more pull. I think it's very possible, right? I don't know, right? I don't. All of this came out because they were like, Elon Musk apparently holds a grudge and it's like, nope, I'm gonna make those people pay for not, I don't know. It's a very interesting situation that they find themselves in. And I'm curious to see where it goes, because I don't know, I don't know where all of this is gonna happen or how it's all gonna play out. So I'm I'm curious, man. I'm like, this is really, and to be honest, it's kind of excited me back to a point where I can stream again, where I can, talk. There's John Williams says, there's the eternal hope Disney will become Disney again, and the eternal disappointment they won't. That's right. And and Solomon, you're right. Disney stocks have been all over the place, which is disappointing on so many levels. Like I went out and when Disney started to tank, I went out and bought some stock in Disney, and I bought, I think 2, not a ton. I just wanted to be able to say that I had stock, like, yeah, I got stock in Disney. All right. Like that's really all it was. Right. And so as I did that, like, it just kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And yeah. And Solomon, you're right. Like, Elon seems really good at playing these games. Now, will it be the case that he ends up doing that? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. And this is, I don't know. It'll be a very interesting situation to see what happens. I'm gonna do this for here. I'm gonna see how this works out. This might not be the right thing to do, but I'm gonna try it. But yeah, I'm really curious with everything that's going down. There's nothing good here. Let's give it a shot. So I don't know. I'm really, there's a lot that's about to happen. Now, I saw another report just the other day, just yesterday actually, that says that Gina Carano, one of the things that she wants, because when she was fired, she just wasn't fired from a show that was over. She was let go from everything that was about to happen. Rangers of the New Republic, any other shows. I mean, she would have absolutely been in this new Mandalorian movie, right? So she's missing out on all of that. Yeah, Falcon 1 or Falcon Heavy. Like, she missed out on all of this possible income, right? And that's huge, right? That's a big deal. Whereas all of those other people, I mean, Pedro Pascal, I mean, I like Pedro Pascal as an actor. I don't know if you've seen it, but The Incurable, I don't know what it's, The Uncommon Genius of Nicolas Cage or something like that, is a great movie. Nicolas Cage plays himself, Pedro Pascal's, it's a great movie. But like, I like him. I think he's a great actor. I didn't like him in Wonder Woman 84, but that's just because that movie was not good. That's not Pedro Pascal. And I've enjoyed him as an actor, and his political views aside, I don't care about his political views. I don't like Pedro Pascal because he has a political view. I like him because he's a good actor. I don't like, oh man, I'm terrible with names today. I haven't had enough. Oh, it's because I haven't taken my meds yet. That's why. Well, that's probably not why. I'm just always bad with names. Jack Donaghy, right? I love Jack Donaghy, and for whatever reason, his name is escaping me, but the character of Jack Donaghy, played by John Francis Donaghy. Who the hell is his name? Oh my gosh. I'm like Alec Baldwin. I don't know Alec Baldwin as a person. I know that he has different beliefs than I do, and that's fine. I don't rewatch every season of 30 Rock because I like Alec Baldwin's political beliefs or Tina Fey's political beliefs. I think they're funny. And that's why I like them. They're hilarious. Right? Oh, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I really look forward to that. I just saw a clip of that just the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna have to go see that because it looks amazing, and it does. I am really excited to see that. I've got a buddy who just lives down the street, and we go on man dates. And yeah, we're gonna go see that because that looks freaking hilarious and awesome. I want to be entertained. You know, I want a good movie. I want a fun time. You know, and that's... Hold on, I gotta put... Is it this one? Captive. Hey, let me give you captive. That's what I want, man. I don't care about all this other crap. I want to have fun. You know? Oh, Hondo. That's all right. I wasn't expecting much from Hondo. I have to look more into the director. I'm not sure. So here's the thing. Like I get so bogged down with like work and family and stuff. And I love my job. I love my family, you know, but like it's been so time consuming lately that I haven't been able to do stuff like this. And as I do stuff like this, I'm not able to engage with like filmmakers like I used to. Like when my wife and I were first married, like we were going to movies every weekend. You know, we were, you know, we're just going out and living life and having fun and, you know, enjoying stuff. Guy Ritchie is the director. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. I love Guy Ritchie. I would love for my life to be directed by Guy Ritchie. I think that guy is a freaking genius. I look forward. You know what I would love to see? Guy Ritchie redo the movie Clue. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think I need to do like a casting. Like this is what the ultimate casting would look like. But Guy Ritchie doing the movie Clue? Are you kidding me? That would be awesome. That would be such a fun movie. Right? I had to look at something. Her name, Mono. Like that would be such a good movie. I'd freaking love that. Oh man, now I'm excited. I hope that happens. I really hope that happens because that seems amazing. That seems like it would be a great idea. Oh, but no, the League of what is it? And oh, so Alan is reach. So I haven't seen any Reachers. I've only seen a couple of like shorts from like the show, and it looks awesome. It looks really good. So I need to see it. I mean, but there's still things that I'm like, I really want to see that, even if I've heard that it's terrible. Like I really want to see Rings of Power because I've heard it's so terrible. People are like, oh no, don't go see it because it's bad. I want to, right? I even bring that up only because when I was loading everything up, my Epic stuff was available, like my Epic login. identity and was bringing up, and it was like, hey, return to Moria. And I was like, oh, that seems like a cool thing. And I was like, dwarfs. And I have a strong affinity for dwarven culture. I feel like I can understand the dwarves really well. Because I too like family. I too like to eat and battle, but my battles are more of like wits or like just calling people stupid. You know, those are my battles, not with an axe. Alexander Solomon. There's so many good stuff out there. I really want to have some fun with it. You know? Let's see, Boba Fett. Who would be a good Boba Fett counter? So I've used them all. Well, that sounds right. Let's do this. Let's just do 5-0 first. This is probably not the right mix, but we'll do it. Yeah, it's part of my DNA. I love dwarves. I love food. There's a band called... Oh! Why do I always bring it up? Because this is my ADHD acting up. There's a band called... I gotta look it up now. I don't know. Hold on. This is more important than Star Wars. It's dwarves. It's not more important than Star Wars. It's equally as important as Star Wars. I don't know. I'm bringing it up on my where the hell is my... They have a song called Diggy Diggy Hole. Windrose. And the chorus of the song is, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. And it's heavy metal. So, I mean, of course it would be. I mean, why wouldn't it be heavy metal, right? It's dwarven music. And so you've got this, it's just epic. It is freaking epic. And I love it. And you guys should go look it up. They've got, it's beautiful music. They've got one song, and I will say though, they are a little anti-elvish, right? Now, in all fairness, dwarves and the elves didn't always get along, so being anti-elvish, not surprising. Post it in Discord. I will post it in Discord. So it's not surprising that they're anti-elvish, but there's a song one's called Drunken Dwarves or something like that, and the refrain is like, get your pointy ears out of my bar. I mean, again, if you're a dwarf, you might be offended by their work, but their work is brilliant. No, so I'm in a new guild. I'm still in the same guild of family, the Families of Guild or whatever, Guild Family, whatever. So I'm still in the We With Lives community, but I just wasn't pulling my weight when it comes to the original guild that I was in. I was in Ball, my Ballas, but and so like I needed a change. You know, they were more competitive than I was being at the time, and I, you know, like, to say that they kicked me out is, I don't know, it feels wrong and almost mean of them, but it's the truth, but justifiably for them. And so anyways, but I'm in the same family of guilds. I'm in just a slightly different one. We are, I forget what we are, to be honest. I'll look it up here in a second. But I love them. They're way less competitive. You know, it's way super laid back. But it works for me. It does. Let's see. Who is this? Old pointy head. What's her name? Aura Singh. Let's see. GAC. Counters 3v3. Who's a good counter for Aura Singh? I've used them all. So let's try something fun. 526 million. Yeah, like the thing is, like, they're good. I like my guild. Oh, hello. Let's do this. Let's do Phoenix. I don't know if this will work. I have absolutely no idea. I want to give it a shot though. It seems pretty well balanced. Critically hit. Ooh, I like this too. This is my second monster of the day. It's not even 11 yet. Sometimes you're gonna need them. Yeah, there's nothing to it. This one, that was a good one. Yeah, like I think the last stream that I did, I was talking about, like, I'm still grinding. I'm still grinding really hard. That's what she said. But like, I just needed, I don't know, something a little more laid back, you know, something a little simpler. Cause I mean, I really love this game. I do, but you know, it's just, let's do this. Hold on. I haven't done this yet. Imperial Remnant. Oh, I want to give this a shot. Oh, I can't. Oh, dang it. Colonel Stark. Do I have Boba Fett left? I mean, I think I do. I do. I want to try this, Solomon. I'm really curious. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. If I think Boba Fett might be the better choice, it probably is, but I don't know. Like, I've never, like, I have Gus Fring here, and I don't use him very often. You know, I don't use the Imperial Remnant. And I'm just curious, you know, what I'm looking at. Now, same thing like Tuskens. I don't use Tuskens at all because Tuskens are one of those teams that I have completely put off. Like, my Jawas are way better than my Tuskens. Like, leaps and bounds better. Now, granted, they're Jawas. They should be. Boom. Shakalaka. But, all right. Well, we take that back row. So we got the bottom cleared. Let's check out the top. Ooh. Yeah, like, I'm curious. I might need to make some changes to my defense. Let's do this. Mando. Who's the other here? Is it this? Because then we do Empire. No, because I've got the... I'm going to try this out here. We'll check it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Slap face. Slap face. Slap face. That poor royal guard. He's just trying to do his job. Now, I will say, there's a few things, as far as Star Wars go, outside of the Bad Batch, there are a few things that I'm super excited about. Next month, there is... and then Slapface. All right. Next month, there's a new book out called... I don't know what it's called. It is a Star Wars book, and it's gonna focus on the leaders, the council, the council of the Council of 12, the Council of Elders, the Jedi Council. That's where I was going with that. I don't know why I couldn't think. Well, I do know why, because I haven't been able to think all day. But that's coming out. But then at the same time, next August, so this coming August, there's a book with Mace Windu, and part of me, so close. Part of me feels like Mace survived, right? What if Mace becomes the big bad of, I don't know, whatever Mando series they're doing? What if the Mandalorians and the Night Sisters have to team up against Mace Windu? Maybe that would be something. That'd be something super interesting, I think. Like, we're all afraid. Why? Because Mace Windu's coming back. Well, isn't he dead? Yes, but you can't kill me. Right? That's how that would go. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm again, the books, that type of stuff, that's where, like, yeah, he turns evil after falling, because one thing that's interesting is if you read the books that were leading up to, before Disney kicked all this out, if you read the books that were leading up to, there was like I forget, one of them was called like a maze of evil, labyrinth of lies or something. It talks about how Mace, how they say don't have attachments, but Mace is attached. And the thing that he's attached to is not a person, but he's attached to the galaxy. He's attached to the Republic, right? And that's his Achilles heel. That's his shatter point. What? Sorry, that just hit me. And so, like, he gets to the point where it's like, all right, so what's he gonna do, right? Is he going to be the Jedi, right, and lead the Jedi like he should, or is he going to, cave? Oh my goodness, did it just black out on me? If I didn't get that, I'm gonna be very angry. Right? And so it's like, if he falls, was he able to be redeemed? Right? And I think that's a really good question to ask, because if he's not able to be redeemed, if he was not able to, face the evil moment and come away victorious, what happened to him? I think it gave me the victory screen. If it didn't, I'm going to be pissed. I mean, it's not that I'm like doing super great here, but Okay, gave me the victory screen. Good. I just don't want to do it again, you know? I don't want to lose my characters. All right, here we go. This should be a walk in the park. It should be. We'll see. I've said that before. Profundity. And I've lost. So, here we go. Here we go. Here I go again. Girls, what's my weakness? Man. Huh. Sorry. That's just like, I saw this video just the other day, and it was a meme. It was like, since 1999, anytime someone says this one time, it must automatically be followed up with at band camp, right? So anytime I say, like, to me personally, it's like, whatever I started that out, I just have to finish it with the rest of that song, right? So, chilling, minding my business. Yeah, so I'm curious. I mean, is Mace gonna come back? So Samuel Jackson wants to come back, and rightfully so, because at this point, I think I heard him quoted as saying something to the effect of, he's like, "Look, I'm not looking to win awards. I want to have fun, you know. I want to enjoy making movies." And I'm like, "Good for you, dude, because you're an amazing actor. You should enjoy what you're doing." And if you're trying to do it just to like win an award because other people are telling you you're good, screw that. You're awesome. You're Samuel L. freaking Jackson, right? You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And at this point, he doesn't, because like the dude he's got the money, right? Just go have fun, dude. Like, we love you. Make snakes on the plane too. Snakes on the boat. Snakes on the submarine. Samuel Jackson versus a giant sea snake, where it's not just him as a character, it's just him as a person fighting a giant snake. I think we could all pay to go see that. Yeah. All right. So, Solomon, your question is loaded. And the short answer is, I'm going to spoil a book for you, but Asajj Ventress, hold on, the book is Dark Disciple. So if you're in the middle of reading Dark Disciple, I will stop. But if you're not, I'm going to spoil this for you. So here, are you ready? Because here it goes. And I think there has been enough time that I've rambled to get you to mute me or just walk away. So, okay, I'm going to stop it then. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait for you to respond here. Do you want me to tell you how it goes? Because I don't want to ruin it. But I will say I did talk about it at the beginning of the video. Okay, go. So Asajj Ventress dies. It's a big spoiler. Like, it's a big spoiler. But there's a lot of different things that you need to know. So one, the Night Sisters, death isn't death, right? And there's a moment in, I don't know if it's, so I have to go back and actually watch the Asajj Ventress when she takes on Dooku the first time, that story arc, because I don't remember what they've talked about. But Asajj Ventress didn't go through the same, but Asajj Ventress didn't go through the same training as other Night Sisters. In the book, you know, she hooks up with Quinlan Vos, and she hooks up with a Quinlan Vos, but it's not weird. I mean, it's not awkward, right? It's like they kiss, and then it's like they kiss, and you just know that other stuff happened, right? It's like within, if you've ever watched Casablanca, right? There's a moment in Casablanca where Rick is, you know, meeting up with Elsa, and she's like, "I'll do anything for the passport." She's like, "Anything?" And then he shuts the door, and it's the next scene, and it's the next day, and she's like, "Oh, Rick, I love you." And it's like, okay, what did you do, Rick? Okay, does that make sense? And that's kind of how this is here, right? So here's the thing. She does die, but she had different training than the other Night Sisters. So to become like a full-on Night Sister, you had to call upon the darkness, and there was this monster on Dathomir, this giant monster, and it took the shape of whatever it was like the Boggart of Dathomir, right? It took any shape you wanted it to, right? If you wanted it to look like Snape wearing your mother's dress, then that would have been fine. But you had to defeat it with just dark side magic, right? Ancient evil. It very much reminded me of the Bendu on Planet Chopper, right? But without the wisdom and more tentacly, right? Cthulhu version of the Bendu. But what's interesting about it is the Night Sisters had to fight this monster, right? But instead, Asajj, she did something. It was something to the effect of like drinking from the living water, which, I mean, I don't know if you want to make it a Jesus reference. That's clearly there. That's the one I need to put up. Whoops, wrong one. What am I doing? Here we go. And so she did this instead of the way that the other people did it. And at the end of the book, when Quinlan, when she's died and Quinlan's got his revenge and all this other stuff, he and Obi-Wan actually go back to Dathomir, and they take her body and they kind of leave it, right? Just like, you know, she says that she would have wanted, kind of a thing. I mean, it makes sense in the book. And what's fascinating about it is she does say, and she mentions how, because this is obvious, this book takes place after the Battle of Dathomir, and the Separatists have just slaughtered her people. And so this all takes place. And so it's likely that she somehow isn't dead, right? By returning to Dathomir, her body has been saved. Now, we also know that the Night Sisters from the planet that Lord Sweet Thrawn, Grand Moff Sweet Thrawn was on. That's his pimp name, just if you didn't know. He's a worker of the night. The place that he's on at the time, he's with these people, can bring people back to life. So it's very possible that when they go back to Dathomir, they bring her back to life. But all of that takes place after the Bad Batch stuff. So she's alive after the Bad Batch stuff. And I did hear that they weren't retconning the book. So whatever happens will happen. It could be a flashback. I doubt that, though, unless it's a flashback involving Quinlan, right? If she's there and they're using her as a kind of a MacGuffin or a misdirection type thing, then absolutely they're going to. It'll be something. I don't necessarily know, but my thought is, like, they're bringing her back to life, and it's very possible that she could take the place of Darth Maul. Now, I mentioned earlier on that Darth Maul was the original sequel trilogy's bad guy. Like, he was supposed to survive to the sequel trilogy, but he didn't, right? And Filoni made sure of that. So I think I don't know, is the short answer. But here's my score. I made 2012. We all know that 2012 was the final day of the Mayan calendar. So it's very possible that what we're looking at is, I don't know, death. This could be a symbol, or it could just be a total coincidence. Let me end with this. And again, I love Asajj. I love the Night Sisters. I love that they're bringing up. I love the magics. The Force looked as through a magic versus the Force because it's a different perspective on the same concept, which to me is awesome because that's how I look at religion, as we all are probably looking at the same God, but just through a different lens, right? Cultural or whatever. That's just a thought. But let me show you where I'm at. Sabine Wren is proving to be a prickly pear here, mostly because of these little buttholes, not because of Sabine's little butthole. That's a totally different thing. The Electrium Conductor. I need a lot of them, and farming them sucks. So once she gets up, I'm getting her to Relic 7. I'm slow farming Paz Vizsla, Grogu, and Keller and Beck. These are... Yeah, that turned real fast, didn't it? Sorry. Anyways, I apologize. As soon as I said it, I was like, you should stop. You should stop now. But I'm going for these 3 guys, but it's, you know, it's a farm. You know, it's going to be a grind. But in the meantime, I'm working on my Ewoks. I'm trying to get my characters to Relic 7. You know, as many as I can. Now, Phoenix is kind of one of the next crew that I'm working on. That's kind of like my focus, because I want Captain Rex, I want Sabine, but everyone else I have at 5. So they're fine where they are. But I'm also thinking like Mandalorians, and that's why I've got Sabine going, because I need more Relic 7. You know, and so like I'm trying to find those characters who kind of like they fit multiple roles, and Sabine is one of them, right? The Mandalorian was one of them. There's a few of them that are out there. Now, I'm kind of glad that we're doing a 3v3, because the Ewoks I do have that are good, you know, they're not terrible. You know, Relic 3, but I got Kinessa's 7, so that's solid. Like, I also want to go through, I have gone through a little bit, and I'm starting to work on mods. I'm starting to try to figure out these, who gets the best mods. So I had Darth Revan as one of my highest modded characters, outside of my GLs, which is great, because now that I've got the Sith ship, and that's the thing I'm using, I need to make sure that his stuff is solid. But I want to go through and make sure my GLs are good first. And so I've been spending a little bit of time over the last couple weeks to figure that out. And then I'm going to look at other mods. I mean, because you see, they're all over the place, you know, because I've moved them around. And so I kind of want to get that squared away. But yeah, like I feel like I'm in a pretty good place. I like my teams. I finally got Ben Swolo to Relic 7. There's just some key characters that I want to get up. I am saving, I don't know, my Zetas right now. I think I've got 3, maybe 3.5 Zetas. Let me look at it real quick. Yeah, 3.5 Zetas. And so I'm just trying to like hold on to them until I know where I want them to go. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have enough Omicrons yet for anyone in particular. Let me check. Yeah, I don't have any Omicrons just yet. But I'll probably put them on, you know, my GAC teams. Part of me is thinking, well, maybe I'll put them on. Is it 11? Yeah, I'm not free to play. I spend every couple of months a little bit here and there. Over Christmas, I got myself a vault, and that's been pretty good for me. Because especially like once I got past the initial like doing double drops and getting all those stuff from the crystals, I've been staying about 6,000 crystals. But then I've got characters like this, like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Terran Malicos, Admiral Trench, you know, so it's like I know that I'm going to put Zetas on these characters, but I just don't want to put week 1. I think I started playing month 1 it wasn't week 1, I don't think, but it was month 1 for sure. But I've got all of these characters and I'm just like, what do I want to do with them? The Leviathan, I'm telling you, dude, the Leviathan is great, but it's such a pain in the butt to farm. But for Bo, right, I really want Bo-Katan because she's awesome. All right, she's awesome, and you know, let me see, let me look it up. But I'm so far away, you know. She is the last journey guide that I can get currently. I think Paz Vizsla will be my next character to go up. Then Grogu, then Kelleran. Kelleran's going to be the last, and it'll be maybe a month or 2 before I get him. So, you know, and that's the thing, is it's all about slow farming for me. Getting the characters up while I can, right? Trying to make the most use of the team that I have, right? And so one thing that I've been doing is I'll do my Cantina. I'll only do Cantina refreshes, because I don't want to burn through my crystals. Whew. That's rough. That's my fleet shard. I'm in the top 20 usually, and on the days that I'm paying attention, like I'm really going for it, I can get to the top 10, top 5. But mine's pretty competitive too. Kelleran's gonna be a while. Grogu, I don't know. Like the thing is, like I'll get them to this point, get them to gear 11, almost gear 12. And then I'll have to stop, right? Gear 11, almost gear 12. And so then it's a matter of like, well, I'll just save that stuff until I can get them, until they can be golden. Same thing here. But I got to put some mods on Kelleran. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. I always love talking to you guys. And it's so much fun to talk Star Wars and theory crafting and talking about like all this news that's going on, and can I share my love for Star Wars? I gotta show you this though. Obviously I love Funko. I have way more than I should. I just bought a bunch that were used. I mean, I usually take them out of the box, so I don't care. Pong, Krell, and Captain Rex. Oh my gosh, I almost had like I had a giddy fit when I saw this. I was like, I gotta get it. I know I apologize for the grossness, but those are all of my my clones and Galactic Republic era characters. I've moved like that's, look at that. I've moved, so I think, hold on. Up here are Mando era. This is like Imperial era, and here's my Ewoks and a few other. That whole bottom line is just Ewoks, and I love them. One of them's like fluffy, and that's great. I had to take, you know, I apologize for the camera moving, but that is all of my sequel trilogy characters. I've got some other random characters. I am, dude. Like, I'm growing up sucks, you know? Like, why grow to? Obviously be responsible, make good choices, but like, life's meant to be lived. Life's meant to have fun and to help people and to get to know people, and that's part of the reason why I like this channel and doing this, is because I get to, like, I don't know, just engage, interact, and just have fun. Let me, hold on. I got to show you this before I go. You see that? So we took the family to Disneyland over Christmas break. And I told my wife, I said, look, if we're going to Disneyland, then I'm going to buy a lightsaber. And she's like, well, like one of those like $25 ones where you like put the plastic together. And I said, no. So this is my lightsaber. Now I need to do like a full review of it. It is so much fun. Like I spent what is like 150, like 200 something bucks. I don't know, but like I'd been saving all year for it. Like I'd put like 50 bucks here, 25 bucks there. I bought this. I bought a Jedi robe, of course. And then I bought a shirt that is a la Han Solo. And it was funny because my wife was like, that shirt's 50 bucks. I'm like, first off, I buy all of my clothes at Costco so I can afford a $50 shirt. Secondly, do you know how many times I've tried to buy shirts like this from Costco or from like Amazon, and because of my weird body shape, they don't ever fit? I've spent more than 50 bucks on that. I'm saving money. This is like the girl math equivalent of my buying stuff. I'm saving money if you just let me spend $50 on this one shirt, because I will stop trying to find clothes that fit on Amazon because they never fit. And this one does. I'll have to like wear it next time or something. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you are having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. Check out the links in the section below. Now, again, if you haven't ever done an audiobook from Audible, two free audiobooks from Audible in the section below. If the link doesn't work, let me know in Discord. I'll send the link and you guys can try it out. If you tried it out before and you want to try it out again, create a new email account. Sign up. Right? Every time you sign up, you help me. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, my friends, smile.